Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that I struck out on. I want to look at the YEEZY 700 V2 in the static colorway. I only went for them on the Confirmed app, partly just because they're so expensive, coming in at $300. But fortunately for us, my good buddy Silent Z hit on a pair. He was kind enough to lend me his so that I could do this review for y'all. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's look at these 700 V2s in the static colorway. Okay, so I'm not going to waste a lot of time on the box. If you've had Yeezys before, then you all know what the deal is with these. Just plain cardboard. Says 700 on the top. It should, yes, it does say Boost on the side because this is a silhouette that does have Boost cushioning, which I'm a big fan of. It opens like a drawer, and there you can see on the end of it, it says Yeezy Boost 700. And here's a look at the tag. It reads Yeezy Boost 700 V2, and the colorway is static. This is a size 13, and these came in at $300. And I have one pair of 700 V2s. It's the mauve colorway. I thought for sure those were only 200. Maybe they were 230, but I know they weren't 300. And I posted a picture on the community tab just showing that this review was coming soon, and I saw a comment or two just about how the price is just kind of hard to swallow for a lot of people. And I gotta tell you, I'm right there with you. $300 for a pair of shoes, that's steep. And is it worth it? You know, I guess that depends on your financial situation. You know, I would never recommend going into debt for a pair of kicks just because you want to look cool, because, you know, having money in the bank is way more cool than having a cool pair of shoes on your feet. I tend to pretty much buy just about everything I can get my hands on for the sake of the channel, but I don't want to come across as somebody that says, oh, you have to have this. In order for me to have content for the channel, I like to go after as many shoes as I possibly can. I keep a lot of them, but I don't keep all of them. You know, even for somebody middle-aged like me, and I like to think I'm doing pretty well, $300 is steep. It's hard for me to ever say a pair of shoes is worth $300. So I just wanted to get that out there. But anyhow, let's look at them. So now that my rant is over, I do have to say, these things are incredible looking. This is the second time that these dropped, and I don't know what the retail price on these was initially. I didn't think it was $300 back when they came out. I think it was 2018, maybe 2019. I was thinking that these were around 200. One pair that I know that I would pay $300 for without hesitation is the Wave Runners. And honestly, I have never had the Wave Runners, and that is a pair that I would say is like almost a grail status to me. Just, I think that pair is so freaking cool for some reason. It just speaks to me, and that's a pair that I know I would spend that money on just because of how long I've wanted them and just how much I like them. Back to these, I don't know if these were $300 at first or not. If you remember whenever they dropped, then let me know. But I know they dropped this colorway once before. It may have been the first color that they did of the 700 V2. That might not be accurate too, but I know it was one of the first versions of the 700 V2 that we ever got from the Yeezy brand. And I know that this is a very sought after colorway of the 700 V2. I think on the initial release, numbers were really low. I don't know what numbers were like this time, but I've actually seen these pop back up on several retailers. I think Kith had them just today. But I don't know if they were as limited this time as they were the first time or not, but I know there for a while, this was a very, very expensive shoe to get if you were trying to get it on the resale market. My first impressions are just that it is an insanely good looking shoe, and I love this knit a lot like the knit on the mauve 700 V2s. It's just really, really nice looking. It feels really nice. But then these overlays of like leather and then this nubuck, it feels very, very high end, and they're done incredibly well. Another thing that I noticed right away is all this reflective that's on here, like these 3 stripes, and then the reflective behind all these little circle cutouts going along the back, and the reflective behind that little mug guard there in the front on the toe box. This reflective glows. It's some of the brightest shining reflective I've ever seen. And then you also have reflective there on like the lace loops and on the laces. It's all speckled throughout there, which I think that's a cool touch. Starting with the outsole, you can see that we've got this herringbone tread pattern. On the back it says Adidas, and this is just all in like a black color, and you can see the cream of the midsole there where it's kind of cut out, and then up through that you can see that boost foam shining through. And then coming up to the midsole, I love the shape of these midsoles. And whereas a lot of times the 700 V1s will have a lot of color on the midsole, these are just all one color. And really the whole shoe is really like monochromatic, like it's gray and cream, but it's just a lot of shades that are really, really close to each other. And I think it gives it a really high-end look. But then coming up from that midsole, you can see the black of the outsole wraps up to the front, but then here at the mudguard area and then going up the eye stays, you can see that we've got this light gray colored, it's a nubuck I believe, but it feels very premium and it looks nice as nice could be. But that same material is here at the base of the tongue and then going up the eye stays there, and I think then we have another hit wrapping around the back of that nubuck. But then for the rest of the overlays, we've got this cream colored leather, and it's not real textured, but you do see some of that leather grain on it, and it just feels very, very nice. It's a nice thick cut, and it's as soft as can be. But you've got that down here by the midsole, and then wrapping around on this overlay on the back, and then here on the inside of the shoe. But then the rest of the upper is just this nice knit. It feels really good. I love the shade of gray that it is, and I love the way all these colors complement each other. But you also have that for the tongue as well. So it really just covers the base of this whole shoe. And then like I mentioned, the laces have some reflective hits in there. And for the sock liner, it's a gray color that pretty much matches the outside. And it's got a ortholite insole that says YEEZY and has the Adidas emblem on it.